Hello everyone, my name is Alex Londos. I'm currently working on this micro tiny home. It's a pilot project. I'm specifically designing these for the homeless people in my community or homeless people around the world. I chose this design for a wide variety of different reasons. This specific model, this unit, or this structure I'm building for a homeless person in my community that's disabled. He's 59 years old. He's been living downtown Santa Cruz on the sidewalk streets for several months in the same location, but for a few years in the Santa Cruz area in general. He is disabled. He's confined to a wheelchair that he pushes around. Unfortunately, one of the bearings is broken, one of the wheels, so he's limited with his mobility with how far he can go. They won't even let him on the bus because he has a couple extra bags on the outside of the wheelchair since the wheelchair is broke. So he's having to get from point A to point B by pushing his wheelchair and his bags on the side, all the way to get his prescription medication, to use the bathroom, to get groceries, or any other errands that he has to do. It's really upsetting and disappointing because he's a really nice guy. He's genuine, he's polite, he's just a good person. He's really friendly, and I mentioned this project to him and the potential of building this for people in my community, potentially building one for him, and he was very excited about the idea. So he did recently get out of the hospital. He was in the hospital for 8 days. He has COPD. That's a chronic disease with his lungs. So he's very concerned about COVID. He's concerned about getting COVID. That's why he doesn't want to live in any of the homeless camps. He's also concerned about being next to a corner on a major intersection because of breathing in all the pollution. So this structure would not only help keep him safe, secure and warm through the winter months, keep the rain off of him. It'll also allow him to secure his stuff that he carries on the outside of his wheelchair while he's catching the bus to run his errands, go to his appointments, take care of some of the things he has to do. It'll also allow him to be safe from COVID because he does think that he would die. If he got COVID, he thinks that he would die, and that's concerning, again, because of the COPD that he has. So he is trying to stay safe, and he's trying to, practice social distancing, and this would allow him to lock down or shelter in place rather than just be next to a sidewalk or a busy intersection. So this whole structure cost approximately $340 to build. As you can see, it's not done. This is the beginning stages. This is the frame, which I purchased as FSC certified lumber. That stands for Forest Stewardship Council. It's certified lumber to make sure that we're replenishing the forest and replanting new trees when we extract resources such as trees. So it's a really good organization that I like to support whenever I buy a writing pencil, notepad, and stuff like that. So eventually it will be encapsulated and enclosed with plywood, and it will be painted silver to help bring awareness of this specific project and to just raise awareness of the homeless people in my community. So it is going to have insulation. It's going to be a rigid insulation that's approximately 1.5 inches in thickness, and it will have a couple hinges at this location, and the door will open vertically. I chose to open the door vertically, so it'll be some sort of overhang. So if he is sitting right in this location, it'll protect him from the rain. There will be an air vent on the side, so he has some continual air circulation. Now, I designed these dimensions and this style to try to minimize the inside square footage so it maximizes the heat during the winter months. So when he's inside, it warms up a little bit faster, and it helps protect him from the elements. I did design it lower at that end, so you can possibly sit down at that end, and he will have his own lock at the bottom, so he'll be able to lock and store his stuff in the daytime. Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. The floor is made with recycled wood that I had laying around the house. So I am trying to make it as environmentally friendly as possible with the FSC certified lumber with the boards on the bottom. And actually the insulation that I'm choosing to put on the inside is a composition of compressed recycled material, so I'm trying to make it as green as possible. Also, this structure helps raise awareness of tiny homes, micro tiny homes, minimalism, and our transition towards sustainability. This also helps with our transition towards a caring society, caring for the homeless population. And given the fact that this whole structure, once I'm finished, will not only be, the 8 to 20 hours I invest into building it, it will also show that these only cost about $300, $340 to produce. And why aren't we doing that for more of the homeless people in our community or elsewhere? I think tiny homes would solve a lot of the problems that we have around the world between the divide of the rich and the poor. So again, I've talked to and interviewed the man that I plan on giving this to. I am really excited to finishing this project, hopefully getting it done in the next 2 weeks. I am short on a couple of the building materials and supplies that I did need. And as you know, I work on so many different projects, locally and internationally. I cannot financially keep up with everything that I'm trying to accomplish in helping make the world a better place. So if you'd like to check out the GoFundMe that I've created, those funds will be directed towards this project. If I go over the amount that I'm requesting through the GoFundMe, I then may choose to use some of the additional funding to put in some sort of window, maybe put a solar panel on the roof, and do some other steps to make it a little bit nicer for the gentleman that's going to receive this. One of the main reasons about the disadvantages of sleeping in a tent during the winter months is tents lay flat on the ground. So when it rains, all of the water goes underneath the tent. So if you're laying in the tent, you get soaked. So, therefore, you have to have some sort of plywood flooring, or it has to be raised up on pallets or some sort of structure. So tents are great during the summer, but they're not so great during the winter. And as we continue to see climate-related superstorms and weather-related anomalies, we need to think about the homeless population and more ways that we can help keep them safe, especially when different regions around the United States and around the world experience freezing conditions or sub-freezing temperatures. So this would help solve a lot of problems. I'm building these and this model so it can be duplicated around the world. And again, I'm choosing these dimensions and this structure size for a wide variety of different reasons that I don't have the time to explain to everyone right now. But I did put careful consideration into the way that I designed this. Future models may not have this frame. They will just be plywood. It will be an exoskeleton that will be put together through L brackets. Now again, this is the best design that I came up with for the reason that it's mobile. I can fit this in the back of a U-Haul to transport it. I can make them so they're stackable. I can make them so they can be in a community. I made it so it's low cost, it's easy to build, it's easy to duplicate. And again, I'm going to have the designs open source so more people can duplicate this in their community. I am considering a bike mount so it could be attached on the back of a bike. It will fit in the back of a pickup truck. So this is the current design. I may make a couple small changes, but I did do a lot of drawings and sketches and 3D models to come up with this specific size. And I guess I'll kneel down next to it so you can see the size. So again, when the door opens up, you'll be able to sit right here. It does have enough room in this area. Someone can sit and play on their phone. They can read a book. Now in this back area, once they're sitting in here, I'm going to have a shelf right along here. So your feet can go underneath the shelf, but it'll be a little place to store necessary items. So I think this is a great solution to help homeless people, to provide them with safety, security, and dignity that they need and they deserve. So if you'd like to support this project, again, check out the link that I put together. I'm sure I missed some important information that I'll try to list in the description or the comment section of this video. And I hope that you continue to support this project and other projects that I'm doing. Thanks for watching. By the way, that was my chickens in the background, my organically raised free-range chickens. Sorry if they were distracting.